First of all, let's talk again, as we did in December, about myth. Myth is a traditional story, especially concerning the early history of a people or explaining some natural or social phenomenon, typically involving supernatural beings or events. That's Webster's definition of myth. Now, Webster's definition of metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action to which it is not literally applicable. Comparing two things that aren't actually the same, but have a metaphorical association, have a common denominator, have a theme that is true for both. And metaphysics, which we practice here, is the branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. Did you know you were going to do all of that this morning? I did, and if I was smart, I'd be really scared, but I'm kind of not. So again, the story from the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. There's also a phrase in the Tao that says, those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know. And I speak, and the truth is, I don't know, but I explore, and I learn, and I hold what I learn and the things that I encounter in my explorations, I hold them up against my own heart, and I say, does that feel true? I hold them also against my intellect and say, does that sound to me? Does that sound true? Could it be possible? But more importantly, does it feel true in my heart? So the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. What this is saying to me, this is my interpretation obviously, is that there is something of which we cannot even conceive. And all words that we use to talk about it are going to be metaphysical, metaphorical, and mythical. Because we don't know literally. We can't know literally when we are stuck in these human bodies with these human brains that can only handle so much. Think about that little emoji on your phone that shows a head going, you know, and people use that just because there's a sale on furniture. If that can blow our mind, then think about such huge concepts as this, and yet we're going to tackle them anyway. So the Tao generates one. So there is this unnameable, and then we call it God, or the Tao, or Dharma, or the way, or love. The one love. That's the thing we can sort of get our heads around, is this one that comes from the nameless thing. And then the one generates the two, heaven and earth, boy and girl, all of the polarities of life. The one generates the two. And the two really in the Tao is more like the one starts to generate thought. There is the one, the unnameable, then comes the one, then comes the one's yearning to experience itself. And that's thought. And then the two generates three. The one, God, love, Tao, whatever you want to call it, generates thought, which generates us. And as she so beautifully puts it in the song, that's when I want to experience myself. I'm God, I'm the nameless. I want to experience myself. And from in here, it's hard for me to do. That's why humans look in the mirror. So we can go, oh, that's what I look like to everybody else. So I want to experience what it is to be this wonder that is me. And so I break into something new. And that something new is still me. It's still me. And at first, we know that. We just reflect that back to each other. I'm looking in the mirror. As far as I can see, nothing but images of me. And then the 3 generate the 10,000 things. And in Eastern philosophy, over and over, and in the Bible too, 10,000 means more than you can imagine. We're talking about people who didn't have computers and were counting on fingers and toes. 10,000 is just more than you can even imagine. So the 10,000 forms burst into being. And that is, the Tao generated the 2, that's us, that's this form that reflects back the Spirit of God. And then we forgot who we were. That's what the Course in Miracles says. And that's what the Tao kind of says too. It says, then we created all this stuff. And then, instead of knowing who we were, we started looking around at all this stuff and thinking, that's who we are. My job, my house, my face, my friend, my spouse, my opinions, my deeply held thoughts, my nature, my moods. Those are the 10,000 things. And the 10,000 things are fine. That was the way it was meant to be. But when we start believing the 10,000 things rather than believing the one, we can get really far off course. So in Hinduism, Brahman is the name of the ultimate reality underlying all phenomenon. And there's this nameless, and then Brahman is the one named. And everything comes out, everything comes from Brahman, or the Tao, or Dharma, or the one, universal consciousness. I like to call it love. I like to call it love. Or God, good orderly direction. And then that births all matter, all consciousness, all living creatures. It says in Hindu literature, Brahman is formless but is the birthplace of all forms in visible reality. Brahman is the father of all living creatures. And so from his mind are created the mind-born sons. So the thought happens, then we are that thought in the world. Let me read what A Course in Miracles says about our beginnings. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Only love creates, and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts, us, exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. So only love can create. So everything that is created from love must be for the purpose of love. For the purpose of love. And it goes on to say, God's thoughts are given all the power that their own creator has. We have the same power to use love. Our love, which I believe is simply the love of the one coming through us in our individuation, we have the same power to create in love. He would add to love by its extension. Thus, his Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. So, the reason, according to A Course in Miracles, that God created was to extend the love even further. It's that mirror, it's that reflecting. You can love sitting in a room by yourself. You can. But when you have an object of love, there could be a deeper connection, perhaps. Or your awareness of your own connection with love, because you're using it and letting it flow through you, might be more obvious to you then. Yeah, all of this, y'all, myth, metaphor, metaphysics. We don't have, I can't give you a final answer. This is exactly how it happened. And the Big Bang, short version of how it happened. Now, and we're going to read next week about the Hebrew Bible, what their mythology is, what our mythology as people who are born in a Western society mostly is. But it's all that, y'all. Nobody knows for sure, and I don't believe that there is any dissonance between the two. Love created, who's to say how love created? Love created form. That's the atom, y'all. But even what we know is that when you try to catch form, it doesn't work. It's a wave. No, it's a form. No, it's a wave. No, it's a form. No, it's a wave. It's both and. It's neither nor. It's all of that. It's beyond our thinking. It's beyond our ability to think. Once again, in Course in Miracles, God's thoughts, us, have the power in order to extend love. So one short definition of creation might just be the extension of love. That's what creation is. Our earthly love, a reflection of God's love. The one love. Tao, Dharma. In the Christian Bible, in 1 John chapter 1, he says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." He was with God in the beginning. Through him, all things were made. Without him, nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. The Word became flesh and made its dwelling among us. The Word became flesh. The unnameable took on a name. The Creator came into the world and now is in the world of creation because we're not separate from the Creator. That's what that says to me. I know that's not what it says to all Christians, but that's what it says to me. And then the Tao goes on to say that the self advances and confirms the 10,000 things is called delusion. That now we have the self and we advance and we think we're master of the 10,000 things. This is delusion. We start to believe. That is our delusion. It also goes on to say that the 10,000 things advance and confirm the self is called enlightenment. And what does that mean? To me, what that means is everything out here is our teacher. It's not that we're the master of everything out here. It's that everything out here is an opportunity for us to deepen and learn who we are. For us to remember our origins in love. For us to resist the temptation to see something that is really an illusion and then fight back in kind. But to see it to the best of our ability for what it is, an opportunity. An opportunity to master ourselves, an opportunity to learn who we are. To learn who others are, which is a way of learning who we are. To extend love. So when the world is our teacher, then we have beginner's mind. That is enlightenment. What the Buddha called awakening. Now I'm awake. That means awake to me means I'm paying attention. I'm not just getting sucked in to what I think or what's been handed to me on a plate from culture and parents and whatever since the time I was born. I'm going to be awake and I'm going to look at that and I'm going to hear what you say it is and what the culture says it is and what the newspaper says it is. But I'm going to be awake enough to go, what do I say it is? And what do I say it is through my filter of knowing that I am here to love? What can I learn from that? How can I make love out of that? How can I make love out of what the world gives me? That is our greatest power to create, to extend love to whatever we find. So the 10,000 things is the entire world, and the self confirms, I know, we're the expert, we're the master. No, that's delusion. But when the world confirms us, when we look at the world and say, this is who I am. I see that going on. Ooh, I know that that's in me. But love's who I am. Then we're enlightened. Then we're awake. Then we're paying attention. Then we're living in love, and we have the chance to fulfill our purpose. So I know all of this is not, I'm not solving a puzzle for you. There's no puzzle to solve, or it's an unsolvable puzzle. It's a mystery to ponder. It's a mystery to ponder. I got made fun of in the 6th grade when I used that word. We were driving in the car somewhere, and we passed this tree in our neighborhood, and my dad said, "What kind of tree is that?" And I couldn't figure it out either. And I said, "I don't know. I ponder about that every time we pass." And for about the next 10 years, my siblings like, "Are you pondering? Are you pondering?" Well, you know what? Now my job is pondering. I'm pondering the mystery. I don't have to know. That's the relief. The moment, as a minister, the moment I think I know, I am in deep, deep trouble. But if I can share with you not only what I have learned, but the pathway that I took to learn it, and share it with you in such a way that I say, this is where I am right now. Who knows where I'll be tomorrow? This is how I got here. Here's what I believe. Here's what I think. Can I support you in your own pondering? That's what I'm here for. So since we're not solving a puzzle, but we're just pondering a mystery, then what's the point of all this creation story if we still don't know the answer to exactly what happened? Well, here's what I think is the point. We come from the divine. That is our ultimate truth. Every religion that I know of says exactly that. Separate from the divine, we do not exist. There is no separation. Science says the same thing, not just religion. 2, we are here to love. We have that power and we have that purpose to extend love. That's what we need to know. We're all one, we're here to love. And our love is an extension or a reflection of the one love. And as such is imperfect until we understand. And I don't think we can right now. I can't in this human body truly understand that I am the one and not a piece of the one or separate from the one. But I get to practice. I get to practice love, and the more I practice love, the more I become love. That is what I believe. And number 4, when we're open to learning, yes, the world of form can be really confusing and overwhelming, but ultimately, it's all okay. Every one of the 10,000 things is okay. It's our teacher. It doesn't change our purpose, which is that we're here to love. So I say, know who and what you are. Love. And then ask how. Ask how. You know, we turn on the news, we look at what's happening around the world. Sometimes we look around our own household and we look at what's happening and we think, how am I supposed to love this? Well, I think that's a very good question to ask. And the person to ask is not me. I'll help you find it if you want me to, but the person you ask is you, because the one love dwells within you. So you get quiet and you say, how? Knowing that my purpose is love, that I come from love, and that my only purpose here is to love. How do I love this? And then breathe and wait for the answer. Wait for the answer. We're going to take that into meditation in a minute. But as students of the world, we will find our way back, I believe, to our awareness of the one love that we all are. Thank you. let's just settle into wherever you are. Get comfortable. Maybe unhook and unlatch the parts of your body that are tense. And allow yourself to just be now. Not what just happened, not what you're going to have to do when you get up from here, but just now. Experience yourself. Experience your body. Your breath. Your head, your neck. Don't just think about them, but feel yourself inside there. And know it's all good and relax. What do your shoulders feel like? What do your arms and hands feel like? Relax them. How's your belly? How are your innards? What does it feel like to be inside you? Allow yourself to feel into it and maybe to express a little gratitude to it. There's all kinds of stuff going on in there that are not directed consciously by you. Thank you. Thank you, heart. Thank you, lungs. Thank you, digestion. Feel what it feels like to be sitting or lying where you are, your connection to whatever it is that's supporting you. Feel into your legs and feet. And say thank you and relax. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is nothing that needs to change. Just breathe in and carry this thought, I'm here to love. Being of love. I give love. I receive love. I move through the world as love. And when you're feeling that love within yourself, even if it's just a tiny, tiny little glimpse or one tiny point of light, even if it's smaller than the flame of a candle, know that there is truth in the sacred literature that says the light is shining in the darkness and the darkness cannot overcome it. And that light is you. And from this place, if you dare, ask that tiny point of light or that great big flame, how metaphor of light and darkness is so beautiful because no matter how deep the darkness is, one candle cannot be put out by darkness. But total darkness can be dispelled by one candle. So maybe you can ask yourself, how do I extend love to the world? Or maybe you can ask yourself, how do I be light in the darkness? What is my 1 in 40 cajillion unique way to shine? What darkness around me or within me can I dispel? With the light that is me. And as you sit with this question of how perhaps an answer comes to you now in this meditation, or perhaps you want to extend this meditation, take a little more time with that question, I recommend it. And perhaps you'll get up from here thinking you don't have an answer, and then sometime, today or tomorrow or next week, sometime that answer comes to you as a still small voice, as a big loud opportunity, as a song you hear in your head, as a person you meet. As a chance to give. But in order to get that answer, we have to stay awake. Pay attention. You are the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome that light. And so it is.